I would like to review this book. Its title is Irrational Chess. It was written by Cyrus Lakdawala, that clearly is a very prolific author because I have a lot of his books. And some, like this one, are clearly very interesting because they don't have a theme like most books have. Some books want to teach you the sacrifice exchange. Some other books teach you a certain opening. Here the theme it's a little more difficult to guess, and we can read it here in the back. The vast majority of chess games witness familiar strategies and well-known tactical motifs. These are games that you will find in the anthologies and opening repertoires. Sometimes, however, games appear that seems to have been played on a different planet. Conventional strategies go out of the window. Familiar tactical teams are nowhere to be seen. Chaos has broken out. The pieces appear to be in open rebellion and are steadfastly refusing to do the natural jobs they were designed for. So this book is a compilation of these games that are quite interesting. Now, the fourth game I want to show you, it's from a position. The position is Emory Tate as white versus Udazin in the US Masters, Chicago, 1997. Here the author writes, I could feel a book with stories about the late international master Emory Tate, but only have room for one. We played in a tournament in Los Angeles in 2001. I was on the black side of a modern defense when Emory went on a sacrificial binge, throwing in the proverbial kitchen sink. I won the game, taking all his pieces, while he failed to deliver mate. After the game, I attempted to console him by saying how inventive his attack was. He was a touch offended that I didn't praise it further and proclaimed it was extraordinary. Okay, so this is the position in which we are. Lakdawala continues with Emory was a kind of a mini Tal who could one round beat a strong GM and then in the same tournament lose to a 1990 player. This is quite interesting, because as human beings we are quite not stable in our performances, and maybe that's what's the difference with a great player. Great players, they are always stable, so they continue to beat anyone independently from the rating. In this position against GM Leonid Udazin, Emory found White's most promising attacking continuation. Okay, so you have the chance while I was reading to see what would White play. If you didn't think of it, now you can pause the video and see what would you play if you were White, okay? Obviously, the first thing you should do in every position, if it happens to you, is to count the material. That is kind of important to understand where you are. In this case, from what I can see, the material is equal, okay? Because they have 2 knights, 1 bishop, 2 rooks, 2, 4, 6, 3, 5, and 6, okay? So they have equal material. What we can notice in this position is this knight that is hanging, okay? Or this pawn that is hanging, this isolated pawn, and clearly here there is an attack. So the things are not on this side, but it's on that side. Otherwise, why he reach up to there, right? Okay, so now I will show you the game. So I hope you found the right move. If you are a mini Tal like Emory Tate. Knight f5, one exclamation point. The engine approves and actually prefers white chances after this piece sacrifice. Well, e takes f5, force, since, look, he says, if you play this, you are hanging out a piece, okay? And here it gives you a line of what happens. And of course, there are other moves that he considers instead of e takes f5. So please, when you get the book, check them out. How does white continue here? Obviously, it continues with an attack, okay? Because if you sack a knight, it's not for taking this, but it's for killing the enemy king. Knight d5, queen d8, e takes f5, and now there is a little mistake by black, which played rook e8. It seems the right move was bishop take g5. Okay. The reason is that black needs to break this kingside pawn attack. He needs to do that. He didn't do it, and so he paid. So sometimes in a game you have more than one chance to recover. In this case, black misses chance. Queen h5. Notice that this move, rook h3, is coming, but one should not play rook takes a4. Again, you are attacking there. If you bring your pieces all around, you will never be able to win the kingside attack. And the important thing in chess is to give checkmate, not really hit pieces. Okay. Knight ab6. Also, this was a mistake. It was better to play g6, and here there is a line which proves it. But again, you know what they say. It's the before the last mistake that crowned the winner, right? So knight ab6, rook h3, yeah, and obviously knight f8 because he wants to try to keep this. Now, as in many books by Lakdawala, here you have a combination alert, an exercise. Pause the video and try to find the next move which should be played by white. Okay, and this is important because you are not going to learn chess if you just play the moves without thinking. Sometimes you need to stop, like in this case, here, and find the next move for white. The next move was f6. In this game, white knights are the equivalent of a farmer's draft horses, since both sacrifices enhance the attack. Okay, so the sacrifice of the knights helped to win the game, practically. Knight takes d5, and here, obviously, the author shows that taking with bishop takes f6 does not save the game, and in any case, it seems there is a checkmate in like 6-7 moves. So the game for an engine is already over now. Imagine that. Incredible. And now, again, you could try to discover which of the next moves by white should be played now. The right move is f takes g7, king takes g7, bishop b2. Finally, also this piece comes into the attack. King g8. And once more, you need to stop and think. Try to think what is the next right move for white. Okay? What would you play in this position? if you have found it, let's see, it's G6, incredible move. This is the killing blow. Neither black pawn nor knight can capture white's G-pawn. So let's read it again. Neither black pawn nor knight can capture the white G-pawn. Okay. Bishop f6. And here the author gives 4 continuations, in fact. It gives h take g6, f takes g6, knight takes g6, and knight f6. So, if you didn't do it up to now, you need to stop this video and do your analysis for these 4 moves. H takes g6, f takes g6, knight takes g6, and knight f6. Because this is the only way that you learn chess, doing your own analysis. If you just read it in a book, you will not learn. However, the author brought you a very interesting game, okay? So, the game continues, like we said, with bishop f6, g takes f7, and now black played king h8. Please check and do your own analysis for this move, king g7. How would white continue? Okay, this is very funny. It seems he said combination alert, Emory missed a mate in 6 years. Can you find it? Well, okay. Obviously, this is the funny thing. Probably an engine calculated this checkmate in a fraction of a second. For a human being, yes, it's not so easy. Okay. So Emory 8 played rook g1 with a threat of a mate on rook g8. But it seems that the mate in 6, you can obviously pause the video and try to find it yourself, is by queen g4. Okay, the threat still is queen g8 mate. And now you need to do your own analysis to actually gain something from this great book written by Cyrus Lakdawala. So it was rook g1, rook e1. When they are desperate, they do incredible stuff, okay? Because he wants to bring away this rook, right? That is trying to do checkmate. Rook takes e1, bishop takes b2, rook e8. The threat in this case is queen takes h7, checkmate. Why checkmate? Because this knight is pinned. And this type of pin is called absolute pin, because it cannot move. Generally, there are relative pins in which you can move because you can lose the piece behind. But when the king is the one behind, it becomes an absolute pin. Okay? So knight f6, obviously attacking this and protecting that. Rook takes d8. Rook takes d8. Queen h6 and knight e4. The threat obviously is a fork on this. Okay? Here another combination alert. Pause the video and try to find by yourself how you should have continued. The start is with a simple double attack. Queen h4. Notice it protects this, attack this, attack this. The engine prefers the more complex c3. Very interesting. Okay, which no human would play, obviously. So we were in this move, and the engine prefers this one. Why? Because if it takes this, after moving, he is gonna give checkmate there. So, but who's gonna think of this? It doesn't make any sense for a human being. Yeah. So it's a very interesting. This game found by Lakdawala is really, really interesting. knight f6, because it's protecting that. Rook g3, again, we have this kind of threat at the end. Step 2, shift the rook to g3, threatening, obviously, queen takes f6, followed by rook g8 mate. Knight 8 d7, and queen g5. Step 3, shift the queen to g5, threatening rook queen g7 mate. Or if knight e4, then queen g8, and then of course you give checkmate with promotion. Okay, and this is the end of this interesting position that was played by this game played by Emory Tate in 1997. Emory Tate has also another couple of books that I have in my library that were printed after his death. He is really a very tactical player, so eventually if those books are not in print anymore, one can eventually use like Megabase 2023 to see his games, okay? And that's the beauty of chess, that we can witness many chess games from the past. So the book was Irrational Chess by Everyman Chess and Cyrus Lakdawala, a very interesting book.